Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alya binti Azhar and my partner name Ani Sofia binti Azmi. We are the researcher for this research paper, Perceived Service Quality at Maybank Seremban. The purpose of this study is to indicate the relationship between the service quality in terms of tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, and assurance toward the customer satisfaction in the Maybank service. This research will focus on customer satisfaction in Maybank Berhad. We will measure the customer satisfaction on the Maybank service quality to know whether the service provided exceed the customer expectation or not. There will be also 4 factors that influence the customer satisfaction, which is tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, and assurance. Tangibility can be defined as the product or service that can produce a clear, concrete image. The problems that occur in terms of tangibility usually the operating hours, which is not flexible and too rigid. Reliability is including the stability of dependability, responsibility, and performance of the employees in the service. The problems occurs in the reliability can be seen in the service promise when the employees cannot give the service as stated in the client charter or in the term and conditions of the service provided. Responsiveness is the readiness and willingness of the employee delivering the service. The responsiveness problems can be seen in the workers' behavior, whether they deliver the service politely and immediately or they ignoring the customer in the service. Assurance can be simplified as the knowledge of the employees inspire the trust and confidence towards the customer. The problems in assurance could be occur when the employee had no knowledge in the service and cannot provide the safety and security toward the customer during delivering the service. There are several research objectives in this research, which is the first, to determine the relationship between the service quality and customer satisfaction at Maybank Seremban. Second, to identify the frequency of UiTM students tolerate with the Maybank Seremban. Third, to six, to ascertain the relationship between the tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, and assurance toward the customer satisfaction. And the fourth, to identify the main factor that influence the customer satisfaction at Maybank Seremban.
Next, we will move to conceptual framework. There are 4 independent variables which are tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, and assurance. There are also one dependent variable which is customer satisfaction. In this study, we want to know whether the dependent variable which is customer satisfaction depends on the independent variables which are tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, and assurance. Here, the hypothesis between independent variables and dependent variables. The first hypothesis of tangibility. There is significant relationship between tangibility and customer satisfaction. The second hypothesis, there is significant relationship between reliability and customer satisfaction. The third hypothesis, there is significant relationship between responsiveness and customer satisfaction. And last one, there is significant relationship between assurance and customer satisfaction. Next, we will move to research methods. First is research design. The design used in our research is cross-sectional study, where it is the data collection at a single point in time, which is several months only. We decided to use cross-sectional study is to be applied in this study due to our question and research objective. Next, we will move to unit of analysis. The unit that we will analyze in this study is the students of your ATM Seremban 3, which consists of gender, age, faculty, level of education, and others. Next is sample size. The population of this research is the students of your ATM Seremban 3. Next is sampling technique. We are using convenient sampling technique. We are using convenient sampling technique because the individuals chosen for this sampling is accessible and also within our research. The fifth is data measurement. For independent variables, there are 4 parts. So the respondents will rate all the items according to the 4 points, which is first is strongly disagree, second disagree, third agree, and fourth strongly agree. For dependent variables, whether they satisfied with overall services by Maybank and satisfied with Maybank services during RMO COVID-19 is used as a tool to measure customer satisfaction. The 4 Likert scale is being used in the research. Next is data collection. In our data collection consists of 6 parts, which is part A, respondent demography, part B, customer satisfaction, part C, tangibility, part D, reliability, part E, responsiveness, and part F is assurance. And lastly is data collection. Respondent demography measured using frequency and percentage, because we can know which group is the most contribute in our study. Next is hypothesis is being proved by using percent correlation analysis, test strength of the linear relation between two variables. The purpose of the percent correlation is to know the correlation between the services from the every aspects and the customer satisfaction. Next, we will move to findings. First, I will explain to you about the respondents' demographic. Based on the table, most of the respondents were female, 189, which is 63%, and the remaining respondents represent male, 111, with 37%. Most of the respondents were 21 and below, which is 58% compared to 22 and above with 42%. As for faculty, the most respondents were students from FSPPP with 44%, then followed by FSKM 32%, and FSR 24%. From the data collected, most of the respondents patron to bank before MCO COVID-19 is twice a month with 28.7%, while for frequency patron to bank during MCO COVID-19 is the most is rarely with 93%.
For the objective one, which is to identify the relationship between service quality and customer satisfaction, we use descriptive statistic for the mean and standard deviation for all variables in the study. The respondents were asked to rate independent variable from 1 to 4, which if 1 is strongly disagree, 2 is disagree, 3 is agree, and 4 is strongly agree. The mean for tangibility is 3.42, reliability is 3.38, responsiveness is 3.31, and the assurance is 3.41. So it indicates that the independent variable shows the respondent agreed that there is a relationship between the service quality in the Melbourne service. The respondent were asked to rate the dependent variable from 1 to 4, and it indicates that the customer satisfaction had a positive mean, which is 3.38. So there is a relationship between the service quality and the customer satisfaction in the Melbourne service. In analyzing the objective 3, 4, 5, and 6, which is the relationship between the tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, and assurance toward the customer satisfaction, we use the Pearson correlation coefficient, which is to measure the strength of the linear relationship between two variables. It indicates that more than 0.4 is a strong correlation, between 0.2 and 0.4 is a medium, and below 0.2 is the weak correlation. So, in this research, we identify that the four variables shows that there is a strong correlation between tangibility, reliability, responsiveness, and assurance toward the customer satisfaction. This is due to the number of R in the Pearson correlation is more than 0.4. For the seventh objective, which is to identify the main factor that contribute in improving the customer satisfaction, we use the multiple regression in the analysis. Multiple regression function is to measure the mean value of one variables and the corresponding value of the other variables. R-squared values from 0.3 to 0.5 can be considered as a weak effect size, while R-squared value from 0.5 to 0.7 can be considered as a moderate effect size, and the R-squared value above than 0.7 can be considered as a strong effect size. From the table, we can see that the R-squared value is 0.476, where 47.6% of the independent variables influence the dependent variable, which is the customer satisfaction. The balance of 52.4% comes from the independent variables that are not used in this research. Therefore, the independent variables in this research can be considered as a weak effect size. Beta is the coefficient correlation range from the 0 to 1. The higher the number of beta, the higher the association between the variables. Tangibility, responsiveness, and assurance shows the positive association due to the value of beta, which is positive. The reliability shows the negative and no association towards the customer satisfaction. Therefore, in this research, it can be said that the assurance is the most and the main factor of that contribute in improving the customer satisfaction due to the number of beta value, which is highest among the independent variables.
This research is about service quality and customer satisfaction from the perception among students on Melbourne Surrounding services. We conduct this study because maybe Melbourne services can improve any insufficient services based on students' perception. This research has shown that there is a correlation between service quality and customer satisfaction. The study highlights the most important aspect of customer satisfaction in Melbourne Surrounding and also provide some recommendations to fix the problems. That's all from us. Thank you.